Well, I think we live in an age where we're very suspicious of people in authority, and that's unfortunate. I mean, we should be skeptical. People in authority are still humans, and if they're given the chance, they might be corrupt. They might do something illegal. But ultimately, if we start with a default assumption that scientists, professors, journalists like yourself are deliberately part of some larger scheme, then we're not even giving ourselves a chance to look for truth. We start with the assumption that everything happens behind closed doors by some furtive force that we can only identify with words like oligarchy or patriarchy or military industrial complex. At the end of the day, these words don't mean anything.
Yeah, well, one of the things to watch for as well, you pointed out, was an assumption of hypercompetence. I mean, when we look at government, this is the same sort of person who would sit and say, look, I feel Trudeau's a fool and his cabinet's weak and the bureaucrats are incompetent, but somehow they're pulling off a massive conspiracy to do such and such. Well, you've got a conflict of your logic going on right there. It's one of the things perhaps people should watch for. Don't assume that the government's really that good at being able to keep a conspiracy like this.
What's interesting is often that same line, those two contradictory points are made by the same people, that somehow the conspirators are hyper competent so they can use laser beams or they can somehow brainwash us through the media. But at the same time, they are so incompetent that they leave this breadcrumb of evidence, supposedly, all over the place. You know, I have a story on my podcast this week about a woman called Julianne Mercer who thought she saw Jack Ruby and Lee Harvey Oswald sneaking a rifle onto the grassy knoll. Well, if they did that, they were profoundly stupid because they're doing this in broad daylight where they could get arrested before they even get their caper pulled off. So, yeah, it's not just the fact about hypercompetence, it's the contradictory ways that hypercompetence is often used.
You can become a Western Standard member for just $10 a month or $99 a year for unlimited access.